So I'm just in the car. It's Friday afternoon and we're just heading down to collect our brand new car. We found one. It was not easy. There was literally two that were suitable on the market in Australia, and one just happened to be 5 minutes literally down the road from our house. So like that's meant to be. It's even the same colour as my existing Holden Crewman, which is just insane. I think it was just meant to be. We've actually driven past it so many times, so it's pretty exciting. We're going to surprise the boys, so we haven't told them that we're picking it up today, and we'll see what their reaction's like when we pull up in the driveway with our brand new car for our trip around Australia. And we're about to buy a car.
We're coming to you today from the Ballarat Peninsula. We've been down here this weekend clearing out our house that we sold. We've nearly done. We've had people coming and going all weekend, buying things off Facebook. We've managed to sell all of the beds, one of the couches, get rid of all of the toys and books. We had a heap of kitchen stuff, and it's pretty much an empty house now.
It's been a crazy few days. We've just had people coming and going. Really tried to sell the house with everything in it, but we weren't able to do that, and as a result, what we've done is we've just sold everything individually, which will give us some money to be able to add some things to the caravan, and then also hopefully add some things to our new car, which we've got.
We've got our car. We picked it up. You might have seen the little video during the week, the little snapshot. The boys were beside themselves.
The car sounds awesome, but the horn is going to be the whiskiest horn I've ever heard.
Yeah? Oh, where's the car? Did you buy it?
Harry! Come here, Harry.
How have we got it? I want to find it.
Come out here.
Where's Mum's car?
I have to use it to get this one to pick it up.
Did you buy it?
Yeah, I bought it, buddy.
Oh,
Off in, it's the house. Is that cool?
big.
What do you think?
Was it on this side? Way. I was here. You were on the other side. And Jed has more room than he did. This is great.
Are you happy with this?
Harry's excitement when we actually picked the car up, and what we didn't show, we didn't manage to get it on film, but the next day he walked out. First thing, he ran out in the morning, 10 to 7. He's run to the front door. He's like, it's still there, it's still there.
Yeah.
I thought it was a dream. I didn't know it was really ours. So they're very excited. I think it's sort of reality for them that it's pulled up in the driveway.
Yeah, and finding the right car was no mean feat. We were really concerned about weights and towing and having a safe car for the family, and we've had some friends of ours who have had an accident before, being overweight and not had insurance paid out as a result. So it's not just stories and things like that. We've actually know people who've had the experience. So we wanted to get it absolutely right. So when we're looking for a family car, we had, we needed 5 seats, we needed to be able to fit our luggage, we needed to do these things, but we needed something that would cater for the loads that we wanted, and for a whole year going around Australia, we needed a serious car, especially with a family caravan on the back. So when it came to looking for our car, we had a nationwide search essentially. I was prepared to go and fly anywhere, but because we had these heavy loads, I wanted to find something that had a very high GCM, or the gross combined mass, which means the amount of weight we can have in the vehicle as well as in the caravan. And so that GCM weight, the biggest a GCM we could find as factory without going to an American truck, or literally a truck, was the Land Cruiser, Toyota Land Cruiser, and the Land Rover Discovery 4. And we looked at those really carefully, and both had around that 6.8 tonne mark in terms of weight. But what we found was that you could actually get the Toyota Land Cruiser upgraded with a modification from Lovells and a few other suppliers that then bumps up your actual GCM as well as the GVM, gross vehicle mass, the actual weight in your car. And what that means is you can have more in your car and you can have more on the tow, and your overall weight can be bigger. So as a result of a lot of searches, we found 2 vehicles from around the country that had this upgrade, the GCM GVM upgrade, And in the last 6 months, there's even been some legal changes where you can't even get the GCM unless you buy a car new and pre-registration. But for us, we wanted a second-hand car. We didn't have the budget for a brand new car. And it just turned out that literally 5 minutes down the road, we had the car and we went down and checked it out. And we sort of loved it straight away, didn't we?
It was the right one. Kind of meant to be. One of those things that just falls into place. We were really lucky.
So when we went down there, the benefits of buying from someone who'd used the car for touring before was the car had a lot of modifications already. And we're able to go through them all. And basically, by doing that, the previous owner was able to tell me all the ins and outs. Here's the tricks, here's what you need to know.
In there, and that's wired in, so yeah.
Okay, so this switch here turns off the beepers, so when we've got the caravan on, if there's a problem, we've got to go and turn it off.
Yeah.
Luckily for us, he was really friendly, had his caravan out the back, so I got a bit of tour of his caravan. He bought a new Land Cruiser. It was the fourth Land Cruiser they've owned, so we were really confident in buying this vehicle that it was the right one for us, and we got a really good head start. But the benefit of also buying secondhand was we ended up with a Sahara, so it had a lot of the comfort level.
Yeah,
right?
It wasn't something that we were looking for necessarily, but as an added bonus, we've got a vehicle that's going to make us really, really comfortable on the inside. Something that's big enough to fit the three boys. So in the past, Jed's had a bit of a squeeze in the middle with many cars because we've still got the other two boys in their booster seats either side, and quite often he's sort of ended up with a leftover space in the middle. But there's heaps of room for him. It's 3 full seats in the back of this car. It's also leather seats, which we've never had before, but I think getting around in places that'll be quite dirty, I'll appreciate that because we'll be able to wipe them down and keep them clean.
We've got the leather in the caravan too for that purpose, so it just worked out well having it in the car.
Yeah, we went that option in the van too.
Well, I heard that red dust gets everywhere, and this car's done a couple of trips, and a few of the joins you can see some red dust, so it's got the marks of a touring vehicle. So
felt it before.
Yeah, so having leather seats is definitely going to help.
The boys are so excited that they have a DVD player in the back.
Yep. Now, they show me something special. Hang on. Have a look what's in the pack.
Did it come with them?
Yeah.
Awesome. What have you got?
Oh, they're special Toyota headphones.
What are they?
Special Toyota headphones.
Awesome.
It is epic!
Again, not something we were looking for, but it'll come in handy, I'm sure, on those really long trips.
I didn't actually even know that it came with one. It wasn't until we went and test drove it. It was the second time I went and test drove it with the family that we found that there's a DVD player. And she said, "Oh, do you want to watch the DVD?" And the boys were like, "Yeah, we do." So,
I don't think they'd even used it before.
No, they hadn't. The headphones are brand new in packets, and so for the kids, that's all they care about with the car. But for us, there's a lot of other comfort things as well.
Yeah. So up the front, there's a little cool box in between the two seats. Perfect, I guess, for putting our lunches in if we're having a day out. Throw the lunches in there to keep them nice and cool when it's hot outside.
Press a button and it keeps it cool, which is great.
Yep. All the added comforts that we'd be looking for, of course, heaps of air conditioning, their safety features like your airbags. There's a few other little features that Justin will show you on a tour.
So here it is, our new to us Toyota Land Cruiser. So this is a Sahara model. It has a tyre pressure monitor, which is pretty handy. So as we drive, we're alerted to any drops in tyre pressure across the vehicle. I think I'll get one for the caravan as well, which is pretty handy. We've got a UHF radio, so good to go from that front, which is pretty cool. It's already wired up for a video camera, so we're going to be able to connect up to a video camera, which will be on the caravan, which will be pretty good. Plenty of room in the back for the boys. So it's in pretty good condition. Come back to the rear in a moment. So in the front, we have the Red Arc brake controller already installed, good to go. and we've got a floodlight switch as well. So on the front we've got some floodlights. With this model of the Toyota, we also have a cool box inside, so we're able to keep some lunches cool as we drive around the country. The Sahara has air conditioning in the back as well, which is pretty cool. So looking at the front, we've got floodlights and a nudge bar, and you can see the aerial there. And inside we've got dual batteries, so they're currently in parallel, so we might have to make one an auxiliary battery. We've also got a performance chip on the vehicle as well, which really makes it go well, especially when under the tow. So coming around, we've got the standard mirrors, and we'll have to look at upgrading those. We've got roof racks on top of the vehicle, so looking to put a cage up on that. And at the back we've got obviously tow ball, we've got the 12 pin, got an Anderson plug already, and we also have the camera socket as well. You can see that just under there, which will connect up to the caravan for the cameras.
We've been really researching the past couple of months the type of fit out that we want in the back in terms of drawers. We definitely knew that we wanted a fridge, but we wanted some space that we could keep some tools in, so that we had them on hand if we ever needed them, and some extra groceries as well, so that when we're going to those really remote places, we can have some spare food there, hopefully for a week or two, so we don't have to shop too often.
So from a car modification point of view,
In the back, what we're looking to do is add some drawers. We're going to take out the side seats, put in place a cage barrier, a fridge on a slide, and has some other storage options to keep our chairs and a few other things in the back, including some groceries. In the drawers we'll keep a couple of tools and some extra grocery storage as well.
so when we pull up somewhere, or if we go to the beach, we'll have an awning on the car, a few other things like roof racks. So we've gone through this list, and all the money that we've made from selling the Holden Crewman, which we'll talk about shortly, as well as selling the furniture from inside this house, it means that we can use that cash to be able to upgrade the car and the caravan, which is really... So in regards to buying this vehicle, the reason why we really liked it, and the reason why we only found two in Australia, was that it had a pre-registration GCM upgrade, which means that it has a GCM of 7.3 tonne as opposed to about 6.8 tonne or 6.85 tonne as standard. So it's an extra 500-600 kilos of weight bearing capacity on the total load. And from a GVM point of view, gross vehicle mass, the amount we can have in the vehicle, including the tow ball mass, it means that we can actually have 3.8 tonnes in the vehicle. So that's a lot. And if you think about when you start to put in a fridge, frozen meat, beer, all the things, tools, things like that, it really adds up fast. Mm-hmm. And when we did the maths on a standard Land Cruiser, based on having a full-size family caravan as well as having a decent car with all the accessories we wanted, we realised quickly that we're going to need that GVM upgrade to be comfortable inside the legal requirements.
You hit the limits really, really quickly.
Because of all the concerns we had around weights, we decided we wanted to get the car checked out straight away in its current state before we started doing our modifications. So we went out to Weigh Station, we got Weigh Station come out to us. They're a mobile...
How handy is that?
In Melbourne. So there's some all around Australia that do it, but in Melbourne it's Weigh Station, and Weigh Station come out to you and they are able to weigh up your vehicle. So we got them straight out and got them to weigh up. Mac from Weigh Station, he weighed up our car to see what our loads are, and we're going to do this for not only the car but the caravan, both pre and post modifications and loads. So we're going to be able to see what the actual weights are and how we sit before we set off to travel.
Okay, this is the scale that we use. They're a maximum of 1.5 tonne each, which with the four of them allows us to weigh a vehicle up to 6 tonne. It's wired, connected to the control system, which gives us the printout of the weights of each axle. What we do is we get the car to drive up onto the ramps, onto the centre of the ramp, and we start the weighing process from there.
All right, here we go, up on the plates. Whoop.
Stop at that. That's perfect.
Nailed it. Second go. Okay, so I've just pulled up on top of the ramps, got it on the second go, that's all good. So let's go and have a look at some of the numbers.
Okay, we've got an overall weight of 2891 kilos. I can switch through with the machine and tell me what each individual wheel has got in weight wise. So the left front 805, right front, left rear, right rear, and then the total across the axles. So it gives us a good indication of where you've got space for load and how you can put more stuff into your car.
So we've got a big list of things that we wanted for the vehicle and for the caravan, and we're pretty tight on for cash. You know, we sold this investment property, but we're still pretty skinny. So because of the cost, it does cost quite a lot the way we're doing
Everything adds up, and you have to
Yeah.
factor in your big costs and then your living costs for the year too, and a few unexpecteds, I'm sure, along the
Yeah,
way.
and we said in episode 2, there's cheaper ways to do it, but we're fortunate in that we've got a good price for this house, that we can do it with the full-size car and van. But we still got to be careful with our spending because it does add up as you go around Australia from a weekly budget.
And all of those extras that we're looking at, we put them up on the whiteboard the other day, and it's $500 here or $300 there.
$1,000 there, and
Suddenly
adds up. And all
you're
of a sudden we had this
$5,000
massive
to
list,
$10,000.
which is 10% plus of the actual vehicle or caravan costs, and it quickly adds up on top. So to do it, what we've done is we've sold all the furniture in this house, but we've also sold our Holden Crewman, and I absolutely love that car. In fact, that car has helped us renovate this
handy.
house. It's been fantastic, but we just don't need it anymore. I'm trying to talk quietly so the car doesn't hear me, but it's surplus to need because we've got the full-size wagon. I've got a trailer, I can still do those things, but
we don't need 3 cars.
yeah, we just need to sell it. So we basically had to get it ready for sale.
Okay, so it's early morning and I'm just taking my Holden Crewman down to be serviced, get a few things done to it before we actually sell it. I really do love this car. It's really sad to see it go, but it's a good thing because it means that we're going to be able to have the right vehicle for a trip around Australia, and we're all set. We're going to have something that's nice and safe and can do the job for us. So looking forward to getting that all set up.
The good news is we got the car sold. Turns out it was someone local again. Popped some signs up on the windows.
Literally just got the signs up,
Yeah.
and it was within the next day or
Within
two.
the next day, someone drove past, saw it, contacted us, and it suited their needs perfectly. So good timing for
young
them.
family,
Good timing for
perfect
us.
sedan. They wanted a ute, and the Holden Crewman is great for that. And really sad to see it go, but glad it's going to another family that needed it for everything they're doing. And it means now that we're going to have somewhere in the vicinity of, we've made about $4,000 in sale from all the furniture from in this house, and we're going to clear about $6,000 for the Holden Crewman. So it's going to give us about $10,000 total, which we can then spend on getting the car ready for the big trip around Australia and the caravan as well. And it was interesting, whilst I was selling things here in the house and meeting people as they coming and going, one of the guys had actually just got back from a lap of Australia, so he was going through where we should go, what we should and shouldn't spend on. Actually told me to tone down what I wanted to add to the car because he said, mate, you're going to be on bitumen for most of the time in populated areas, so just wait, and if you need it, you can always get it later. So I thought that was some pretty interesting, good
I think
advice.
you tend to forget that everywhere we're going,
panic.
people live there and they set cars up too. So
Yeah, and you just
we
want it
can
to be
add
right
on
and
later
good,
if
but
we need.
we've got to hold back a little bit because ultimately you need the budget to be able to do it. It's a full year, so you've got to make sure you can get to the end as well and not have to come home with your tail between your legs early, especially in a public forum like this one. So we'll need to make
Put it
sure.
out there.
Yeah, we
Very
have.
approachable.
Yeah, got to do it. So it's good.
So now we've got the hard work done. We've sold the house, we've sold the car, we've emptied the house. We can start to move forward and actually think about what we'll be doing next year, where we're going. We're going to get the map out during the week, jump online, get some researching done, and get the boys doing the same.
We've been following plenty of travelling blogs and things like that, and you see the photos come up of great spots to go.
Yeah.
But we need to think bigger picture too, because which way are we going to go? How much time are we going to spend in each location? What do we have to go to, and how much time should we spend in each major location?
We're pretty flexible, and we don't want to necessarily plan every day of the whole year because we want to be able to be flexible and enjoy somewhere when we get there if we want to. But there are places that we've heard that we need to plan ahead and book for that we won't be able to get accommodation for otherwise, or somewhere to park the van. So I think they're our main things that we're looking at.
And you just want to, you don't want to spend like 8 months getting around to the top and then having to finish the last bit really fast. So we've got to work out a rough apportionment and then wing it from there. Yeah. And there's things that we've been told, and we'll go and research and we'll share everything we learn as we go. But, you know, there's certain times you should be in certain places, and school holidays are in certain locations. So make sure you've booked this. So we're going to go through all that over the next week, and we'll share as we go what we're doing. So that's in next week's episode. That's episode 5.
Hit us with your tips during the week.
Yeah,
Comment
if you've got some
underneath,
ideas on direction, we're currently thinking going clockwise is what we're thinking, but we're open to ideas on that. Someone did say that by going anti-clockwise it's shorter because you're in the left lane as opposed to the right lane. I don't know how much weight that holds, so there's little tips like that. Some of them probably aren't real tips, but we'll go through all that. So yeah, hit us up and let us know, and we'll share it all next week. So thanks very much for joining us.
Thanks for watching.
And yeah, stay in touch with us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, and we'll be back next week.
See you somewhere else next week. Bye.